Good. Well, listen, first let me tell you this. I really didn't know exactly the details as far as your group, and for all of you to be honor roll students, let me just tell you this. That really says a lot about your leadership. That you take your homework serious, the fact that you're taking time after school to do what most kids aren't willing to do says a lot about you. And, you know, I look back on my journey of leadership and what we've done. I did the same things you were doing, but I didn't know what I was doing, all right? Because nobody pointed out and said, hey, those are the things that are going to shape the way your life is going to look as you get older. And so what I want you to know, that the fact that Miss G is really taking time, resource, a commitment to really help guide and shape your future. This is what you don't know. Because of this room, because of this information, some of you today are going to be some of the world's greatest leaders, some of the world's greatest business people, some of the world's greatest leaders in corporations. Some of you are going to become extremely wealthy as a result of what you're hearing, meaning you will never worry about money in your life. How many of you are okay with that idea, right? Anybody okay with that? Money not be an issue ever? You got more than enough. You can go where you want, do what you want. So I'm just going to give you a little background on me and who I am and why I'm here today. You know, my journey in business really started right after high school. I was 19 years old, and I grew up in a city. I was born in Detroit, and I grew up in a city called Port Huron, which is about an hour from here. And I did what I was supposed to do. You know, I graduated high school successfully on the honor roll. Due to my mother, you know, she said, if you graduate on the honor roll, you're going to be in some trouble. So, you know, I worked hard in school, and school was important to me. And I also knew that, you know, my mom had 3 degrees. So she had 2 masters and a bachelor's. So school was really important in my household. And how many of you, school is really important in your house too, right? Did your parents talk to you a lot about college and just what's important in college right now, right? So I went to college. I was going to be a doctor. That was my choice. I was going to become a surgeon, and everything was going well. I knew that surgeons made great money. I was going to help people, and I needed to have a really good GPA. But this is what I came to realize. You know, for me, I didn't love medicine. And so I actually got introduced to a business. Come on in. I got introduced to a business idea at the age of 19. And it just made sense, you know. And I met some people who were very successful, and I said, I want what they have. Okay, have you ever been somewhere in either a nice neighborhood or see people on TV, and you see that they're doing well, and you like what you see? You might see that before, right? And you see it all the time on TV, or you may drive certain cities, or maybe the neighborhood you live in. And that's where I was just at. And so I also knew that, you know, in order for me to do what in order to be successful, I had to follow people who were successful. Okay? And so what I'm going to cover with you today is just the fact that when I started my business, by the age of 23, it was $1 million business. By the age of 26 today, it's a multi-million-dollar business. I've owned other businesses. And right now, I'm also working very closely in the community. And that's what's most important to me right now. So what I want you to do is just give me your undivided attention, because I'm going to share with you some things today that if you just practice some of these habits over and over, some of you, by the time you graduate high school, if I knew what I knew today when I was in your shoes, this is what I know for a fact, I would have already became a millionaire, you know, by the time I was 23, 24, just because I didn't know what I didn't know. And why am I saying this to you? It's because it's simple. And for those of you being leaders, you know, you're making a decision to do what other people aren't willing to do. And, you know, like right now, it's 5:30. Some people are at home watching TV, right? Some people are supposed to be doing homework or laying in bed. You're listening to people talk. That sets you aside from other people. So what I wanted to do real fast is, this is one of the magazines that changed my life. It's called Success Magazine. Now, how many of you think that in order to be in this magazine, you probably got to be successful, right? So Success Magazine was introduced to me. Now, I want to let you know up front, even after college, I wasn't excited about reading. But then my mentor, somebody who was responsible for teaching me how to be successful, she said, Reggie, leaders are readers. And I've always decided that even though I hated reading, that if I wanted to be successful, guess what I had to do? Become a reader. So if you're not a reader, if you're not interested in reading, but you want to be successful, I'm telling you right now, I'm not saying read sports magazines or read, you know, USA Today, I mean, not USA Today, but the gossip magazines. I'm not saying it, but things that are going to help you. Some of you recognize George Foreman, right? Very successful boxer. You heard of Foreman Grill, right? You know, if you look at some of the people that are on the front of here, they're all leaders. How many of you recognize Alicia Keys, right? You know, very successful. Now, one of the things I want you to know is that all these people have a common thread, and we're going to talk about that later. Usher, right? How many Usher fans? Right? On the front of Success Magazine. Donald Trump. Anybody recognize Donald Trump? right? This gentleman actually endorses one of my companies, which is pretty incredible. How many of you guys recognize this guy? What did he start?
Facebook.
Right? How many of you remember Facebook? Everybody. Well, that's right. Let's keep it moving. Okay. How many of you recognize this gentleman? That's right. How many of you know that Mr. Magic Johnson not only has been successful in basketball, but he took his leadership and influence and started his own enterprises, and he's actually a partner with Detroit, helping people who don't have the money to start businesses in Detroit. Mr. Magic Johnson is helping Detroit, if you didn't know that. How many of you recognize this gentleman? Who's he? I like it, Steve Jobs, absolutely. Okay? So this gentleman right here also, not only is an innovator, but he's a leader. We're going to discuss that. And then some of you may or may not recognize this couple, the gentleman. Anybody recognize this gentleman? Let me tell you, his name is Michael Dell. Anybody heard of Dell Computers? Yes. Right. Okay? So Michael Dell created Dell Computers. And so what are some of the common things that all these individuals have? I'm going to go after a couple ideas with you that one day some of you, I truly believe that if you listen and follow Ms. G's pursuit, can end up in a magazine just like this, because a lot of these people, when you hear about their backgrounds, some of them grew up really poor, some of them had no money, you know, some of them didn't graduate college as a result, but today are very successful, and we're going to talk about why. And so, here's a couple of ideas. Number one, Ms. G really covered what a leader is. Now, I really believe, based on a definition from somebody that I read a lot about called John Maxwell, he says leaders have influence, okay? And the reason why I know all you are influencers, let me ask you a question. Have you ever had a friend ask you what they should wear to school? Have you ever had a friend ask what we should do after school, right? Have you ever had a friend maybe ask you